here is your superior vena cava. You come up the superior vena cava to the 2 brachiocephalics. From the 2 brachiocephalics, you can come up the jugular and across the transverse jugular, back down the jugular. Off of the jugular, you're going to find your cephalic. There's one, and here's the other one. Okay. So superior vena cava, brachiocephalic, up the jugular, cephalic comes off of the jugular across the transverse. If you don't come up the jugulars, you go from the brachiocephalic to the subclavian. And the subclavian is just that short little piece, because once the subscapular comes off, then it's auxiliary. Okay, so if I have a pin over here before the subscapular, it's subclavian. If I have a pin after the subscapular, right after it, auxiliary, because then when you get over top of the arm, it's brachial. Okay. So coming over on this side, there's your subclavian, left subscapular. This would be your left auxiliary. This is your left brachial. Then underneath here, radial would be towards the head, ulnar would be towards the outside. Arteries, brachiocephalic branches 3 times. Left common carotid, right common carotid, and right brachial going out to the arm. Right brachial comes out, or right subclavian. Okay, let's go back. Brachiocephalic, left common carotid, right subclavian. Right subclavian comes out until subscapular. When subscapular comes off, then it'll continue auxiliary, brachial, radial, ulnar. Same thing over here. Here's your left subclavian. Left subclavian is going to come out and around. Okay, it continues until, and I don't have this pulled out yet, but there's the subscapular. And then once subscapular comes off, it's auxiliary, brachial, radial, ulnar. Okay, so there's the top part. Okay, then we start down the abdominal cavity. Here's your descending aorta, right here. Okay. Comes down descending aorta, below the diaphragm. You have a celiac, and then a superior mesenteric. The celiac will branch. Here's 2 branches that are part of the splenic, going out here to the spleen. Here's a little branch, and the gastrics are always shorter, going to the stomach. And then the hepatic goes back below the stomach and over to the liver. Okay, so diaphragm, then your celiac, superior mesenteric, hepatic branches, gastric branch, splenic branches off that celiac. Then you go renals. Once you hit those renals, then it goes renals, then genitals. Okay, and these cats, here's the ovary right here with a little tiny fallopian tube around it. So those genitals for the cats, those females, go right to the ovaries. Okay, so they're easier to spot than on the males. After the genital arteries, then you have your inferior mesenteric right here, going to the bottom part of the large intestine. And then you have your iliolumbars in the abdominal wall right there. And right there. Okay. Veins, you have your inferior vena cava right here. The blue comes down through also. If it's blue and it's running to the liver, it's a hepatic vein. If it's blue and running to the stomach, gastric. If it's blue and running to the spleen, splenic vein. Lots of times you don't see those. They either don't get injected or they get injected yellow by mistake. Okay. Then hepatic portal comes next, and see this one didn't really get, the yellow I think was in these other places. It looks like it exploded. But on most of yours, you'll see yellow in here with the red, and that's hepatic portal. Okay. So that takes care of everything above the kidneys. So then we go renals. We go genitals again out to the ovaries. If it's a male cat, those genitals are going to be tiny, and they're going down this way to feed the testicles. So genitals, there's no inferior mesenteric vein, so then we just go to the iliolumbars for the vein. Okay. Now, legs then. Okay. See if I can get this pelvic girdle to... Okay. It's hard to see in there. But here's your descending aorta coming down. Here's your first V. Can you see around my arm? Okay. That's your external iliac. The second V, that's your internal iliac. And then the caudal, I can see it, but you have to get, can you see that in there? See the caudal going straight down?
Oh yeah, it's right left.
It just goes deep and it goes down. Okay? So we had descending aorta, then we branch to the external iliac artery, the internal iliac artery, caudal goes down. That external iliac artery goes all the way out until deep femoral. Once deep femoral comes off of it, now it turns into femoral. It's going to go to the knee for popliteal. It's going to go down to the tibia for tibial. We come back up to the veins. This is your common iliac vein. That's how it starts. Then, on the side, and again, this is a deep one. That's why I like that male cat over there. Again, I can see it. Can you see that blue in there? Okay, the deep iliac vein goes down off of the common. So when the common comes out, deep iliac goes in. Once deep iliac goes in, then external continues. So then this is all external iliac until the deep femoral again. Femoral continues to popliteal, then to tibial, and this is the great saphenous. Okay. Now, organs that you guys know, the lungs, the heart, the diaphragm, the liver, and the gallbladder is the sac that's in one of the lobes of the liver, the stomach, the spleen, the mesentery. Okay. Now this is one you haven't seen. Well, I might have shown you, but the pancreas lies transversely below the stomach and above the kidney. And you take your mesentery and you flop it back. And then, see, it looks like, you can see a structure that looks kind of like cube steak. That's the pancreas going across there. Okay, so there's the pancreas. You guys know your kidneys. The ureters, the tubes from the kidneys going down to the bladder. And then that's pretty much what you know so far. We're going to get up into the head and the neck for the respiratory. We'll go into the intestine for the digestive, and we'll go over the female reproductive system and the male reproductive. Okay?